Okay, this is my next monthly update video, and um, the thing is, right now, at this point in my transition, I'm not having any like giant, huge transition HRT related changes anymore. I'm just not having those kind of changes like I was. The only changes I'm actually having that's left to even have is fluctuating due to weight gain, weight loss. Because how my last few videos I was discussing about my issue with how I lost weight, and I was seeing nutritionist to get everything back on track, to gain the weight back. Well, what's been happening with that is I went in and seen her yesterday. So the first thing that happened is I got weighed. My weight has gone up. It went from 137 to 140 when they weighed me. So I've been roughly averaging around 140 to it's like 140.4. So it's about 140.4 to about 141.4 is where my weight's been, like in pounds. So that's where my weight's been. And she said where my weight is, I'm at a healthy weight. So that's good. But I'm still not back to where I was before. Before I lost all that weight. I'm not at 149.9 pounds where I was before. Which that's been on my mind recently, trying to gain that rest of that weight back, and I'm just not sure how it's going to play out, because at this point with this last month, I just been struggling to gain any more weight than what I already have. So at my appointment, she was saying I shouldn't be focusing on gaining weight, but focus more on how I feel, like overall how I'm feeling. And because what we discussed was my goals from last time and new goals and what I can do to help gain weight some more. She's saying to be more balanced on top and bottom, meaning top half of my body and the bottom half of my body with exercise, like muscle wise, because muscle weighs more than fat, and that can help gain there. So she gave some suggestions there. She wants me to continue to have more protein in my diet, like 56 grams of protein, and switch out what kinds of proteins I'm having at breakfast, and pretty much continue what I'm doing already, and pretty much that's what's going on there. So, just keeping on track with what's going on in the new goals to be able to stay healthy. And she also wants me to continue with one of my goals, focus on where my hunger levels are. Like those hunger levels were from hungry to like full and satisfied to overeating and that uncomfortable feeling. Being able to recognize all that and continue there. And part of my issues with this diet was, or just eating more healthier with this kind of a diet, was added sugars. She was wanting me to only have 25 grams a day of, like, milligrams. Yeah, 25 grams a day of of added sugars with the proteins and the vegetables and fruits and the grains. So she gave suggestions because when I'm looking at like the nutrition labels, mostly the foods I've been seeing with more added sugars have been drinks. So she gave me a suggestion of having specific drinks that are the sparkling waters, that are the flavored ones, because the ones that have like no added sugars. So she gave that suggestion there. And yeah. So that's where I'm at with that. The part I have not been gaining with the diet was my hips and butt. I was not gaining at all. So I've been just doing the exercises still for the outer booty, outer thigh, Pilates workout to increase that. And with exercising, one of the things she was suggesting is just to do stuff that challenges the muscles, like adding weights to it or bands, like the exercise bands or weights. And yeah, so I'm probably going to have to do that to challenge the muscles, because when you challenge the muscles and you eat properly and whatnot, and it helps the muscles to like grow and get bigger. And where my hip measurement is, I got it to 37 inches. I had got it to 37 and a half, but I got sick for like 3 days and it caused me to lose like a little bit of weight, and in my hips and butt, everything's starting to get back on track. So I've been fluctuating between 37 and 37 and a half inches on that, trying to get that back to where it was before I lost everything when I went off of the estrogen cream. So yeah, I have not checked my bust size, like measurements. Last I did, I was a 32. I wasn't in that IJ range anymore, the upper where I was. So that's kind of frustrating there. Is another thing. Losing weight and losing in that area, it kind of got to me. But since I gained some of that weight back, I've been feeling a lot better. And with the snacks and everything added to my diet and the whole diet being changed, I just been feeling a lot better, like physically compared to before, but still have that struggle. It's still just something I'm dealing with. And I know one of the things is I have to eat 500 more calories than what I'm actually burning a day to gain weight, but I'm struggling to do that. And I'm struggling at times to get more water in my diet because she was wanting me to have 64 ounces. Like, but at the minimum, 40 to 50 at the low range. And it is okay to go above that 64 if needed ounces. So that's what, yeah, those are what I'm dealing with. That's what's happening within this body of mine, transition wise. The estrogen dose I'm on, 0.1 ml, seems to be working. I'm not feeling off hormone wise with the estrogen and progesterone. Let's see here. Other than that, I don't really talk about it much here because I was just focusing on this channel about my transition. But I haven't talked about like the autistic side of who I am because I have autism, and that's something I haven't really talked about much here, and how it does affect me with my transition and in just day-to-day life. I've just been struggling with meltdowns recently. The last week I've had 3, and not Thursday, but it was Wednesday morning. Yeah, Wednesday morning was the last meltdown I had. I was just all morning just trying to fight it off and try to prevent it from getting to that point where I had a meltdown, especially when I hadn't eaten breakfast at that point and it just made it worse. And yeah, and just being able to just cope on a day-to-day basis with it. On top of just the issues I've just been having, trying to get everything back on track to where I was within my transition, and all the mental things I like struggle with the autism at times, especially with being oversensitive with my body, the oversensitivity. Yeah. Other than that, just been doing the best I can to not struggle with it, using all my coping that I've learned over the years, and trying to just be happy and healthy as much as possible within this body of mine that I was born into. So, yeah, but other than all that, struggles and stuff I just been dealing with, I'm still happy, the happiest I've ever been with my body. And yeah, and I don't regret it. I'm going to say it again and again. I don't regret transitioning. I don't regret surgeries. I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life. So, yeah. The only frustrating things is when you're sick and your body has all those weird tingly feelings. It's like the first time this has happened. It's like I feel it like I normally would within my body, having autism and my body being really sensitive. But those sensitivities happened in spots I've never had it happen before when being sick. The genital area within like the vulva, like the labia area, which is uncomfortable, and trying to deal with that with the body sensitivity all at the same time, oversensitive. But I got through it. I'm better, not sick anymore. So, yeah, I'm not sure what it was. It lasted 3 days, but here I am, better. And yeah, so that's what's been going on. That's what I've been dealing with. And just focusing on everything and see if I can get more weight gain and my hips and butt and breasts back to where they were. My waist is fine. That's perfect. That's the only constant that's actually happened and got there. My waist has gotten back to that 32 inches. And that's the only thing that's been constant with the weight gain. So, yeah. And one thought I had was if you do plan on transitioning and you're thinking that you're going to gain weight before so that you can have like bigger breasts or something like that when you transition. That may or may not help, but my suggestion is when you start your transition, and if you want to gain weight to help with your transition, I say do it alongside when you start the physical part of your transition. Because when you start the physical part of your transition and you start having like that breast development, when you slowly over time gain the weight, it can help with the fat within your breasts. Not necessarily like with the breast tissue and mammary glands and the ducts and whatnot, but specifically the fat. So if you gain slowly within your transition, gain weight, it can help. That's one thought that I came to mind and I noticed within my transition when I gained weight over time, it helped with like the breast fullness, the shape within this whole area down here, the whole tummy area. There's more that feminine shape, like what all women usually have who have curves. So yeah, gaining weight can help if you do it appropriate for your body within your transition. So that's one thought I wanted to put out there. If that could help anyone, I just wanted to mention that. And you may or may not gain where you want to because you can't really pick and choose. It's just based on like genetics and what your body ends up doing. So, yeah. So, my body's been looking better and feeling better. When I look at myself in the mirror, I feel good. I like, especially today, I was looking better. I was feeling better to the point where just looking in the mirror and seeing my body the way it is turned me on and became aroused. And I was not expecting that, but it does happen. My own body does turn me on at times. So, especially when it's in like a good, healthy, perfect state. Can't say it's 100% perfect, but like the state it's in does that. So, with being happy with everything, how I've been feeling better, looking better, and it's been making me really having gender euphoria lately with the way things are shaped, and just little things like just changing like types of clothing wearing, or like your underclothing, like bras and panties and whatnot. Especially one thing that really gave me gender euphoria was the new underwear I bought. It was giving me that camel toe look. Like, yeah, it's giving me that camel toe, which gave me gender euphoria that that's able to happen. So, just the little things that I noticed helps, even if no one else is going to see that. It actually helped with how I felt. So, being able just to experience these little things that most women, like cis women, get to experience, or just in the broad spectrum of women and womanhood, being able to like to experience that gave me gender euphoria. So that's what's actually been happening with all of that, from the weight issues, where I've just been with me mentally and just physically. So yeah. So we'll see what's going to happen this next month, if I actually do gain more weight and get back there or not. At this point, if I don't, then I don't. But if I do, that's going to be a big help. I'd feel even better, but where currently I feel good and happy. So I'm happy, I'm healthy, and I don't regret transition. All transition of everything I've done. So, yeah. Other than that, um, until my next video, whatever that will be, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And until then, boo, boo.